Bonus steps. Here's some other things that you can do, and this is a little more technical, but you know, if you have any questions, you can email me or ask me, and I'll be glad to help out. But remove administrative rights from your users. At one time, it wasn't so much. It wasn't so much of a problem to give users administrative rights to their own machine, to their own local workstation. But now, viruses and spyware, they attach to these machines and they use the local admin rights of the workstations in order to bury themselves deep into the Windows operating system, and hence that becomes harder and harder for those machines to be cleaned. So make sure that the administrative rights are pulled away from your users. And that will drastically reduce the amount of spyware and viruses that can attach to your workstations. Don't open up questionable email attachments. And this is kind of this is email 101 stuff, but basically what is questionable? And this is subjective too, because there's so much out there that you really kind of have to think through when you get a questionable email, whether or not it's legitimate or not. If you don't know where that email is coming from, don't open it. If you suspect that there's a problem with the email, there probably is. Banks will never ask for account numbers or social security numbers via email. PayPal is not going to ask you to log in from the email. eBay never asks for your username and password via email by clicking on a link. If you suspect, if you do get an email from your bank or you get an email from PayPal saying that there's a problem with your account, do not click on any of the links that are in the email. Just simply go to PayPal or go to your bank or call your bank and ask them if there's a problem. Because basically, these guys that are distributing out spyware, they send out boatloads of email like that for two reasons. One, to plant spyware on your machine in order to get a hold of your browsing habits and so forth, but also to steal your identity. There's nothing worse than clicking on one of these links in your email and putting in your social security number and all, and it looks like a legitimate bank email or it looks like a legitimate PayPal email, when in fact it's not at all. It's going somewhere else. So if you get an email from somebody that you don't know, like I said, if you feel like it's a questionable email, just delete it. That goes back to making sure that spam filtering is actually in place, especially on your company email. We filter that stuff out. We know susceptible messages, questionable emails all have similar characteristics and can filter that stuff out before it even gets to your users. And then that doesn't put the burden of determining whether or not it's questionable or not on your employees. Be wary of strange links and messages on social networking sites. This has kind of become a pretty big risk these days. And for those of you that are on Facebook and so forth, you know how inundated you become with network with status updates and who's playing this game and click on this link and that link. And what spammers and hackers are now doing is they're distributing out viruses through Facebook. So you see what you think is a fairly safe link on Facebook, and you click it, it takes you somewhere else, which then just loads spyware on your machine. So be very careful in Facebook and these other social networking sites what links you actually click on. There's just no way that Facebook can protect you, the company themselves can protect you from all the links that are posted, millions a day. So, like I said, if there's a questionable site, questionable link on your Facebook pages, Twitter, what have you, just be careful and just have the due diligence to not click them if they look suspect. If you have a business server in your office, if your company has a server, do not surf as little as possible on the web from that particular machine as possible. And in fact, don't use it at all for web browsing. We've had situations where people have called us up and said, I think my server's inundated with viruses or spam, or it's viruses or spyware, and it's our server. And the first thing that we usually ask, well, does someone sit at that server and use it? Well, yeah, they use it to surf the internet. That's a big no-no. With as inexpensive as machines are in the grand scheme of things these days, make sure that user's using a workstation and not the server. Of course, we want to make sure that the servers are protected from antivirus and spyware, but we don't from viruses and spyware. But we don't want to open up the chance that a virus could infect the file server where all the company data is actually stored. So, just rule of thumb: don't use your business server in order to. If you are a Nexxtep client for the month of April, when you sign up for any of the InGuard services, antivirus, spam filtering, web content filtering, we'll waive the installation fee. So it's most all of our Nexxtep clients are on one or all of these systems. If it's something that you're interested in, then give us a call or let Ann know, and I'll be glad to talk with you about how that works and the advantages and so forth. To sign up, you can actually go to incare.com/offer, and Ann reviews all that stuff, and she'll get you taken care of. And like I said, if you've got any questions, then feel free to ask me.